Hey everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and we've got breaking news. Games Workshop has remembered that they make Blood Bowl, and they do make some good Blood Bowl. They've remembered they've got a Spike release coming soon, and they've found a miniature. So for all of you out there who were waiting on a Kroxigor, very much like buses, you wait for one and two come along. Now, today on the Warhammer community, there is a spoiler article. It's a bit light on detail, so we're going to have a look, and I've also got some other bits to talk about to do with this star player. We've got a star Kroxigor, and it's Glottal Stop. Glottal Stop is back. So let's have a look at the article, then we're going to have a look at the 2016 rules for him so that we can kind of get a view of what to expect when this big guy hits the pitch in 2 weeks from Games Workshop. Okay, so the article dropped just now. Glottal Stop is the cold-blooded star player who's red hot in Blood Bowl. And let's scroll down and look at the model. So out of the sweltering jungles of Lustria stalks a brand new star player, ready to crack heads and scramble skulls. Meet the superbly scaly Glottal Stop. So Glottal Stop is back. Now Glottal Stop was introduced in 2016 in the last edition, in Spike 7, I think, which was the Lizardman Spike, which is an absolutely brilliant Spike, and if you can pick it up for a $5 on eBay, please do so, because there's some cool stuff in there. The rules are of no use to you, but the background will be, because it's just so cool. And Glottal Stop was introduced there to replace a older star player whose name escapes me, or maybe Glottal Stop was always the big Kroxigor. There was a big Kroxigor anyway. Anyway, don't worry about that. So, the model is here. Okay, so what are we looking at? We are looking at a big Kroxigor model. Now, this is a Kroxigor, and I think this one is going to be on a 40mm base, in line with some of the larger models like Creek, Rust Gouger, and stuff like that Games Workshop have done. So, as we're looking at this, we can see that he is, in fact, a chunky boy. So, we've got a big old Kroxigor, and he's in a 3-point stance. He is semi-running, okay? Basically, it looks like he is on the line of scrimmage for the NFL. Okay, he's got 1 foot down, he's got 1 fist down, shoulder forward, ready to go. His left leg is kicking in the air, so it looks like he's just taking off on a sprint, and his right arm is way up there in the air, just looking like it's going to swing down and take a big chunk out of somebody in the way that Sauruses do. It's a very dynamic pose for, not Saurus, for a Kroxigor, and I love it. I am super psyched about this model. This is really, really, really lovely. Now, if you look at the Kroxigor that Games Workshop has recently dropped, it's got more of a Tyrannosaurus look to it, okay? It's got more of a snub nose, a big round head, menacing, looks more like a dragon. This guy here looks more like a crocodile or alligator. There's going to be some of you that are so cross. Ian Hannam's going to be cross at me as well. Kroxigor. Alligators are the ones with the flat noses. Let's go with that. Anyway, he's got a flat-nosed crocodile / alligator vibe. So his head looks longer, and he's got some proper Aztec-y, Lustria, Lizardman from Warhammer kind of helmet piece to it that is ceremoniously strapped on with a big bit of rope. He's got chunky armor too, bit of a breastplate. He's got at least one shoulder pad. Looks like he's got another shoulder pad on the other side. He's got shackles around his arms, which I do like. So kind of like he's chained in place and then let loose to the pitch, which is cool. And he's got a kind of mace made out of decoration and armor at the base there that makes him look kind of like a gilded ankylosaurus, which is just a very cool way of doing it. And the paint job on this is phenomenal. I really do like this model. Like, they've got the light blue of the skin, and they've actually blended it into basically a browny red on the top of his scales, and you can kind of see the color striations. I wonder if Louise has painted this, because she is the master of blending, isn't she? Anyway, it's interesting. This guy looks like a different species of Kroxigor. Okay, like I said, the snout is longer and flatter, but he's also got a bit of a I have no knowledge of lizards, so I do apologize. I'm sure there's a word here, but you know how like turkeys have got dangly bits underneath their chin? This kind of guy looks like it's got that, like a Spinosaurus but underneath. So interesting design. I like it. It's very, 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 very cool. And we're going to get some great third-party ones as well. Anyway, let's read on with the article. This is a new resin miniature from Forge World and is a hunking brute of a hot Kroxigor, unchained and ready to satiate his primal hunger on the nearest snack-sized player. Just make sure your own team keep clean. Just make sure your own team keep clear of him when he starts looking peckish. Does that hint towards animal savagery? And would you take a Kroxigor with Animal Savagery versus Bonehead? If he's strength 6, if he's good, if he comes with block or something, then absolutely. That's an interesting move there. When he's not basking on a rock somewhere, definitely kind of got the crocodile alligator vibe, hasn't he? The player known by his rivals as the Scaled Slasher or the Primordial Nightmare or the Killer Crocs or Run, like it, very cool, plies his trade for the Lustrian Super League. So this is a star player for everyone's favourite Lustrian Super League team, the Slan. So Slan, you've got another Kroxigor. Also Amazons and Lizardmen, I guess. So Glottal's rules come packaged with him, so you can hit the pitch right away. They also appear in the upcoming Blood Bowl Spike Journal issue 15, which contains all you need to know to run the hot-blooded Amazon team, the Kara Temple Harpies, as well as other star players such as Boa Constrictor and Estelle Leverneau. Okay, so big drop there. I think I've been saying this for... Let's put it this way, I'm going on holiday in a few weeks, and the last time I was on holiday, Amazons were spoiled. So if they're not out by the time I have my next holiday, Games Workshop are doing things wrong, or I'm doing things very right. Anyway, we've got a little bit more detail of the model here, so you've got a bit more of a face-on shot. It's a crest of a helm, so he's got the helmet piece, and then you've got this kind of sideways circle. It looks halfway between a Roman centurion's helmet and the kind of collar you'd put on a dog if they had an infected ear. So there's, it's kind of, I like the style more for the former than the latter. I think an Aztec Centurion's helmet is probably the best way to describe it. Although, yes, probably don't tell him that I said that. This is cool. Yeah, he does have both shoulder pads. He's got big old scales on the back that look almost like rocks. So he's got kind of like an underworld troll kind of vibe along his back. But this is a really nice paint job. They've done a really good job here. Some of the Forge World stuff is a bit hit and miss, but this is all hit. To get the latest Blood Bowl and Warhammer news delivered straight to your inbox, sign up for the Bonehead podcast, because we love Blood Bowl. Okie dokie. So that is everything in the article. There is nothing there about his rules, with the exception of that one nugget about animal savagery. So what we're going to do now is we are going to have a quick look at Glottal Stop from 2016 and see if we can translate him into proper Blood Bowl. Okay, so we've got the player card here from the 2016 edition, back when everything was pixelated, because to be fair, 2016 was a long time ago now. Still, it was the reason Blood Bowl came back, wasn't it? So that's pretty awesome. Okay, here we go. So Glottal Stop in 2016 was 360 gold pieces. Movement 6, Strength 6, Edge 1, Armor 9+. So in New World stats, Movement 6, Strength 6 is going to have Edge 6+, probably, Passing nothing, probably, and Armor 10+. Okay, so a Movement 6, Strength 6, Agility matters not, Armor 10+. Baseline is an absolute beast. Okay, that is tree meets Kroxigor. It's just a buff Kroxigor, basically. Okay, skills in the old edition. Oh, I like this guy already. Frenzy, Loner, Mighty Blow, Piling On, Prehensile Tail, Thick Skull, and Wild Animal. Okay, so let's talk through Kroxigors now. Loner, fine. Mighty Blow, Prehensile Tail, and Thick Skull is the Kroxigor skill set, right? So Mighty Blow standard, Prehensile Tail is an absolutely brilliant skill, and then Thick Skull boons in there as well. Actually, Prehensile Tail is a great skill in 7s. I'm doing all the 7s videos at the moment, so my head is like, Prehensile Tail's wicked, the Rat Ogre is a great player. This dude is going to be a tank in 7s. We can't run him in 7s, but don't mention that, Ben. We can't talk about that yet. So, right. Loner. Fine, star players get Loner. This guy's going to have Loner 4+, definitely. Mighty Blow +1. I can't imagine them giving him Mighty Blow +2, but they do want to drive home the fact that he is massive and terrifying. Now, they've given him Strength 6 in the old edition, so I can see that absolutely translating across. Grashnak had Strength 6, so I can see that working too. Frenzy, absolutely fine. And then Wild Animal. So Wild Animal equates to Unchanneled Fury in this edition, which is basically, if you want to do stuff, it's a 4+, unless it involves blocking or blitzing somebody, and then it's a 2+. Based on the article, I think we're going to see that moved to Animal Savagery, which is the same rule set, but if you fail, you can hit a friendly player, so just roll straight up against their armor. Now, if this guy's got Mighty Blow +1, bear that in mind. If they tank him up, if they tank him right up and give him armor, Mighty Blow +2, then that Animal Savagery is going to be horrific. But then he's a Strength 6 Frenzy piece. So this guy is a always an always horned up Minotaur, basically, right? So Animal Savagery is going to be, I think, in play based on the article. So we've got a movement 6, strength 6, edge ignore, armor 10 plus, Kroxigor with frenzy, and Animal Savagery instead of Bonehead. Now, Bonehead is better than Animal Savagery, technically. I personally think that Animal Savagery is much better because it will never fail. But it can absolutely wreck your own team. And this is the interesting thing that we come to in a second about this star player. Now, in the old edition, he was 360. Grashnak, in this edition, who is movement 5, strength 6, frenzy. He's got horns, though, so the guy's a big tank. But he's got that kind of similar skill set is, what, 250? Glottal Stop is going to be 280. They're going to price him out, I reckon. But that's the kind of stat line. He's going to be, okay, 240 on a good day. It's going to be 270, 280. But he is going to be an absolute tank lord of a Kroxigor. And I think that's amazing. The thing that would swoop this would be if they dropped him at 280 and he had Mighty Blow +2 as well as everything else. Then we would see an absolute game changer of a star player here. Lizards have got nothing they want to take from a star. Not really. The Zote is so cool, but it's just not better than the standard Kroxigor. This guy is better than the standard Kroxigor. If he lands with skills similar to this, he is going to be an absolute pitch clearer. And that's so, so, so good. Now, this is not brilliant for lizards because lizards are super expensive anyway. So being able to spend this amount of money is not going to be frequent from a tournament basis. In a league, if your lizard team is punching up 300k and you can take Glottal Stop, your opponent is going to bleed and it's going to be amazing. You may not win, but you are going to hurt them. And that is seriously what you're looking at here. From a tournament point of view, you have to give up quite a lot. But then again, if a standard Crocs is 150 and this guy drops at 280, you have to give up 130k. So any tournament that's 1150, you can kind of squeeze him in. Any tournament that's 1200, you can take him happy. 1100 builds are going to have to give up stuff to take him. It's basically a 1000 league build plus the tax to make this guy work, and then maybe turning a reroll into a leader reroll. But if you've got a decent skill package, it can happen. But Amazons, now there's obviously some hyperbole here. There's some hyperbole, there's some kind of musings, because actually we don't know what the Amazon roster looks like. But I think we can be sure that they're going to have 50k rerolls and 50k line women, which means you are easily going to be able to sneak this dude in. If the roster has not been overcharged with cost, if the line women go up to 60k, ignore this. But if the rerolls and line women stay at 50k with those bargain positionals, we are going to see Glottal Stop land in a ton of Amazon rosters, and it is going to be carnage on the pitch, and that is so exciting. One turn against Hakflem, and Hakflem's god. If this guy lands at Mighty Blow +2 with Strength 6, with Animal Savagery and that Movement 6 Frenzy, this is going to be the biggest hitter on the pitch. This is the new Morg, if that is true. Now, they could also drop him at 300 plus with Mighty Blow +1, and he's just going to be a bit garbage. They wouldn't do that, would they? Only time will tell. But for now, we can say for sure that this is a beautiful Kroxigor mini, and they've done good there. It's going to be like 30, 40 pounds, I imagine, from Forge World, and we're going to have to wait another couple of weeks for Amazons to come out, but it does mean that Amazons are coming soon. So let me know if you think Amazons are going to come out next week, if we're going to see them on pre-order for Sunday, because I would like that so I can do all the videos before I go on holiday. Otherwise, Blood Tithe Ben has got a very busy week. Anyway, guys, I am going to wrap up now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content. We get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.